Colleen Hood. Here's a look at your Manitoba Christian Online weekly update. A Winkler resident has reached out to Winnipeg's homeless community. Last week, 19-year-old Tessa Jansen stopped past Silo Mission with a full van load of clothing. Jansen says back in November, she set up a sign on a vehicle in the car dealership that she works at that read, "Help us help others, clothing drive for Silo Mission." Customers, employees, friends, and family members all helped spread the word and donated to Jansen's efforts. With wind chills reaching close to -40 last week, Siloam says the donations came at the right time. Students across Manitoba are on a mission to solve hunger and end poverty. This week, Winnipeg Harvest kicked off its 13th annual Operation Donation School Food Drive with a special skit performed by the students of Samuel Berlin School. From February 27th to March 2nd, schools from across the province will collect non-perishable food items for Winnipeg Harvest. Peak of the Market has agreed to match donations pound for pound in fresh vegetables, and Canada Safeway has agreed to match pound for pound in non-perishable food items. Last year, more than 70 Manitoba schools collected over 44,000 pounds of food in support of Winnipeg Harvest. The final weigh-in will take place at Winnipeg Harvest's warehouse on March 20th. It's a parent's worst nightmare. A child sits out for school but never returns home. This was reality for Cliff and Wilma Dirksen, whose 13-year-old daughter Candace disappeared while walking home from school in 1984. It wasn't until 6.5 weeks later that she was discovered tied up in a shed not too far from her home. More than 2 decades later, Mark Edward Grant was arrested as a result of DNA evidence and charged with the crime. Following a month-long trial in February of last year, Grant was found guilty of second-degree murder. Beginning this Friday, Cliff Dirksen will be featured in an art exhibit entitled Indescribable. He says it's his response and feelings to what happened during the trial.
Some of this work was very emotional for me, so I would expect it's going to be emotional for the guests coming by. And it's not that I want to make life uncomfortable for them, but I want them to know, I guess my general message would be that God does show up in tough times, and if we look in His direction and lean on Him, He will be there for us, and He was there for us.
The exhibit will also feature art from his daughter, Odia Reimer, 15-year-old Kelsey Trudeau, whose brother was murdered 7 years ago, and friends of the Dirksens who were at the trial. The art exhibit is set to open this Friday, 7:30 p.m. at the Mennonite Heritage Center Gallery. It will run until March 10th. I'm Colleen Hood. That's a look at your Manitoba Christian Online weekly update.